Reporting from Computex 2024, Dario from PC Crazy, and we're here at PNY booth checking out their professional cars, their gaming cars, some loads of AI as well, and you'll see some cool stuff. Actually, PC Crazy being a superhero, yeah, that's not possible, right? Let's check it out. So we start here immediately with their professional cars. As you can see, they have loads of models. Logically, we're talking about Nvidia RTX 4000 series, other generation, which gives you possibility, well, what they say, endless possibilities. Other level edge architecture, CUDA parallel processing cores, 18,176, 48 gigabytes GDDR6 memory with ECC. Right here, you can see some familiar faces with PNY GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super 16 gigs, which is the Berto design, and we have some smaller additions here as well, which go with two fans, but still incredible cooling. If you remember my reviews for the RTX 4080 I did and the 4070 Ti, we'll get to those ones quite shortly as well. But before we go to these ones, we have something new. These are accelerated gaming DDR5 memory stick CL36. Actually, all of these. We're talking about new design, non-RGB and RGB, black and white, which is definitely something new, and we definitely need to pull them through some tests with 5600 megahertz, 6000 megahertz, and 6400 megahertz. These are the clock speeds for the non-RGB versions. RGB versions come in 6000, 6400 megahertz, so it's quite interesting and quite enough for actually AMD Expo and Intel XMP 3.0. Next in line, we have the CS3140. This is Gen 4 x 4 2 terabyte SSD. We have then CS2340. This is also Gen 4 x 4 with 7400 megabytes per second read speeds, 1 terabyte, and CS2241. This is also Gen 4 x 4, but in this scenario, it goes in a bit of a slower speed. We're talking about 5100 megabytes per second read and 3200 megabytes per second write, 1 terabyte of storage. For this one, you already saw the review. This is CS3150 RGB, where you can adjust the speed of the fans and you can adjust the RGB to your liking. Looks like a smaller GPU, but definitely kind of cool, and it keeps the SSD cool. As you remember in the review video, 10,000 RPMs, no sound, no unnecessary sound that will create additional noise in your PC, cooling the Gen 5 SSD quite nicely. Then you have another version right next to it. We're talking about CS3150HS, which basically is the same thing, only naked, no heats, no cover heatsink on the top. Has a passive heatsink, has two fans, has the possibility to control. We're talking about 12,000 megabytes per second read and 11,000 megabytes per second write. And some other accessories. We're talking here about Type-C, USB 64 gigs Elite X. And we're talking about Elite X Pro 90. This is UHS 128 gigabytes memory cards. These are definitely something to check out. RTX 4070 Super 12 gigabyte accelerated gaming Verto Epic X RGB. You've seen this, I think it was 4070, not 4070 Super. But regardless of that, still an outstanding GPU when we're talking about cooling and everything else. Some smaller models, and definitely something a bit cuter when we're talking about SFX builds, smaller GPU, white, which will definitely fit in those smaller PC builds, but still give everything that you need for, let's say, mid-range gaming. And then the familiar lineup, we have PNY GeForce RTX 4060 Ti Berto. This is actually a triple fan, not a dual fan. Then we're talking about PNY RTX 4060 Ti Accelerated Gaming Berto Epic X RGB. As you can see, it has the RGB lights here around the middle fan. Next in line is 4070 Ti Super, again Berto Epic X, but this one is much thicker, and I'll get to this part later on. 4080 Super, and we have the 4090 Berto triple fan. Now, these two right here, they do resemble to the 4080 I had. So great cooling, great stability when we're talking about sagging, so it doesn't sag that much. Outstanding performance, a great price as well, and something that you could definitely count on when we're talking about GPUs in general. 2 GPUs signed by Nvidia CEO, and then we go to their professional lineup. We have Nvidia RTX A5500. We're talking about Nvidia RTX 5000 other generation, and here we go lastly with the Nvidia RTX 6000 other generation. These are all professional cards. We're talking about other level edge architecture. We're talking about also CUDA cores, depending, of course, on the model. We have the 18,176 on the 6000 series. 5000 other generation is 12,800, and then we have 10,200 at A5500. A bit of a custom build. This one is done by Aftershock Bubble Tea, and quite interesting thing when we're talking about the reservoir. But of course, we have PNY products inside, including RAMs, SSD, and this might as well be a GPU watercooled directly from PNY. I don't think I have to explain additionally anything about DLSS and how it reflects on the RTX and everything all together, but of course used with PNY GPUs. Next slide, we have Nvidia Ace. This is basically brings your digital character to life, and you can actually ask and discuss anything about anything you desire with it through the Nvidia Ace control, again run by PNY graphic card. Now there's another custom build right here by Aiden, and we're discussing here about some sort of robotic design, which comes to a point. This is basically my crazy PC build, apparently. So here we go. It designs, you just type in the words, and it designs image of your desire based on AI or whatever it comes to a point. So we're talking here about stable diffusion. This is 10 times faster image generation with PNY graphic cards. It creates, let's see if my pictures are still there. No, but I'll show you definitely because I have them in the USB stick. So it generates, let's say, a position from an image to create something that you desire, which gives you an option to recreate whatever you desire and whatever you want to do. And finally, we're here talking about Nvidia ChatRTX, which gives some sort of a quick search box on your personal computer. So it's like your own device personal chat box. You can actually search your document, you can search pictures just by entering a certain, let's say, meaning, and it gives you lots of feedback regarding the documents that we're searching. It can search pictures based on your words and similar stuff. And that's a wrap for PNY. We had their business and professional graphic cards. We had their gaming graphics card. As I already said in my other reviews regarding their cards and benches and all the other stuff, they perform outstandingly well for outstandingly low price concerning other manufacturers. And then we also can discuss AI with loads of cool options regarding that chat search, regarding that implementation of picture, or a quick AI generation, generating pictures 10 times faster. Yeah, quite cool. Definitely looking forward to see what they will do in the future regarding their graphic cards, performance in general, cooling stability, and everything else. BC Crazy signing out on PNY's booth. Bye.